Where did your views come from? I mean, both you and your brother seem to have a very coherent worldview.
Yeah.
That even if I didn't agree with it, of course I do, but if I didn't, I would still think, boy, these guys have thought it through. You left school at 16.
16.
You both became professional fighters.
Yes.
So how did this develop?
We had very little else to do than to. This is no joke. Like, people joke, they say, how do you feel being under home arrest? I joke and I say, I was under home arrest for 7 years. I was broke. My car had no gas and I had nowhere to go. I was in a smaller apartment than this. I was in self-imposed home arrest from having no money. Me and Andrew have never had much to do, but we've always loved discussing ideas. And we're always with the other person who at least is matched intellectually. And we've agreed on things and disagreed on things. Even now, like I said, he's a Muslim, I'm a Christian. I came out of jail. I've read 4 books on Islam since getting out of jail. Why? Not necessarily to counter-argue with him, but just to learn more about issues that are important to him. We read books on history, and I think if you have a very good understanding of history, you can understand the problems in the modern world. Yes. And that's a massive problem. I get mad at Romanians for it. Romanians don't know their own history. And I'll literally get mad at Romanians for not knowing their history.
Like medieval history or like Ceausescu history, recent history?
Even if you take World War II history,
yes.
For example, every single Romanian city and Romanian village has a little war memorial in the middle, listing all the names of the people who died. I say to Romanians, where did these men fight? Where did they die? Nobody knows that when Paulus's army approached Stalingrad,
I was about to say they died in Stalingrad.
Exactly, his entire rear guard was Romanians and Italians.
That's exactly right.
And Zhukov's counterattack, out of 259,000 Romanian soldiers, 139,000 died in that counterattack.
And then the rest got dragged into Stalin's Russia and never came back.
And when Romanians don't know that, I get offended. I'm like, how can you not know that? How can you be proud of being a Romanian and drive past that monument every single day and not know where those men fought and died? So even out of respect for the country I live in, I'll learn its history. So I just, when you know history, you can look at the modern world and see what's wrong with it, what's right with it, what's going wrong, what could go wrong. And I feel like an understanding of history is the basis of mine and Andrew's knowledge, if you can even call it knowledge. Because I don't consider myself a professional in anything, besides maybe kickboxing. And that's it.
Do you miss it?
No, I'm lucky. I had a car crash at 28, ruined my shoulder, so my retirement was final. I had to retire. I had one MMA fight after that, and I lost because my shoulder dislocated when I was wrestling with a guy, and I tapped out. Obviously, the haters love to watch that fight and be like, oh, look, he tapped out for no reason. I was trying to push the guy off. My shoulder slipped out of place. So I don't miss it, and I'm very lucky that I'm in the position where, like with prison, I see good in every situation. I can't go back to it now. So it's fine. I did it. I'm very proud of myself. I'm the 2-time European champion. 28, car crash. I've washed my hands of it. I still stay in good physical condition. I still train very hard. I still take my health very seriously. But going back to fighting isn't an option I have. When you look at some fighters, we were talking about them earlier. I'm not going to name and shame anyone because I respect every boxer who's ever got in the ring. But some guys, they're old. They're still getting in the boxing ring. They're still fighting people they shouldn't. They don't know what else to do. I had to move on. So by definition, I can't miss it because going back isn't an option.
People don't like understand that fighting come with a big risk. I mean, with me, when I used to do karate, like as a child and stuff like that, like a lot of kids were really scared to even just be fighting. And even me, I wanted to be a boxer, but even my parents, like they were just like, well, I stayed with my grandma, but my grandma was like mad scared that I might get hurt off of just boxing. And it made me mad because like in my soul, like when you grow up, and my dad put me in karate like from 6 to like 12, but when you grow up as a fighter, you know what I'm saying, like learning to fight, it's just like, damn, like certain shit get installed in you, like, you know what I'm saying, that desire to fight. But then people don't recognize that one hit can end your whole career. Like, okay, your eye socket might get knocked out. You got your nose, you get cauliflower ear, lose teeth, adult teeth, they never grow the fuck back. And hopefully you got enough money to even, you know, and even when it comes down to the insurance, some insurance don't even help you when you get like certain body parts need repaired or whatever, stuff like that, need help. Like certain, like it's a whole bunch of shit that goes in the background that people don't know about, and they either call people pussy, people can't fight, and they actual fighters, and people who can't fight calling the people who can fight saying they can't fight, and it's crazy. But like with me, I respect everybody that fight, like, because I know for a fact, even with me, like even if I was to fight somebody who actually is actively fighting, I know they possibly can beat my ass, and not because like, oh yeah, I'm a bitch or I'm scary or something like that, but because they actively fighting, they actively honing their skills, and I'm not at all. Like I don't do any type of karate, martial arts, or boxing anymore. I don't do any of that. So like my reaction time ain't gonna be as fast as it used to be. But I respect those people, and I respect him for getting out of it. Not because he wanted to, but because he had to, and actually took that risk to actually stop. But, you know, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they just either calling him scary or whatever. And I've seen comments like that. But, you know, it's just people don't actually understand it. And plus, they never been in the ring before anyway, or even fight anybody. So it's just like, y'all niggas just don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand people talking behind the keyboard about fighting a lot of times, though. But we're going to keep going.
So I got very lucky. Andrew misses it a lot more because he could always get back into perfect shape and go fighting again. So he misses it a lot more, and it's haunted him up until about 2 or 3 years ago. He was like, oh, did I do the right thing retiring? Should I have gone back? 5th world title, 6th world title, because it's just who he is. He's a warrior in his soul, and he loves war. But war can be just, and war can be noble. It doesn't have to be, you know, what we typically think of as war. Andrew's at war with the world, and he always has been. Andrew 14, 15 years ago, I'd watch an internet debate. I can't remember the exact debate I was watching. I think it was one of the, back when Intelligence Squared used to host those debates. I used to watch those 14, 15 years ago, before everyone's attention span was ruined by TikTok. And I said to Andrew, you have to come and watch this debate. It was absolutely amazing. I think it was about reparations in the United States. It was on the issue of reparations. I said, there's a great debate, Andrew. You have to come watch it. And he looked at me and went, we're broke, Tristan. I said, what? He goes, you're sitting there watching debates. We have no money. How are we going to pay the rent? We are broke. He was furious. And he was always at war, like singularly focused on becoming successful in every single metric, which was very cool because then it inspired me. I was like, yeah, what am I watching debates for? I don't know how to pay the electricity bill to keep watching these next month. Let's get to work. So he's always inspired me a lot. But he's been at war with the world in a very healthy and positive way.
Have you guys always lived together?
Yeah, always. Always. From living in my mother's house to moving out together. And I don't know why I wouldn't live with him. People say, like, oh, it's weird you share a house. I've got 9 bedrooms. You've seen this place. If I want private space, if I want to sit by myself or, you know, with my girlfriend or, you know, I've got plenty of room to be alone. But he's always...
Why do people say it's weird to live with your brother?
I have no idea. I feel like Western society, the ideas that are purported to young men to divide, you know, if you have 3 or 4 brothers in a family, oh, go to different universities, study different things, pay a bunch of different rents to a bunch of different people. The idea, which is more Middle Eastern, of pooling your resources and keeping the family together is not something the West pushes anymore. You know, have you ever heard the expression, never mix family with business?
Oh, of course.
Why? Every penny that me and Andrew make goes into joint bank accounts. We've shared all of our resources forever, since we had no money to now we have a lot of money. Why shouldn't you mix family with business? Who else are you going to trust?
Oh, I agree.
The man I grew up with and knew my entire life, or some guy who I met last year?
Why do they say that?
For the same reasons they do everything. That destroys the nuclear family, the modern society, the idea of men being close friends and being, you know, respectful to one another and working together as a team. They want you all divided. Because when you're fighting an individual war against your life, the struggle, your bank balance, maybe your wife, your kids who don't respect you, when you're fighting that individual war, you're never going to unite and fight any kind of war that you need to fight together. Even in Romania, look, 1989, there was a massive revolution here.
Yeah.
Say what you want about communism and Ceausescu, and
See, he actually has a good point, because if we look right now at Castanet, they got AMP, I think it's probably like between 4 to 6 people inside that house, or either, you know what I'm saying, that's in that group. A lot of us, like young guys, we start recognizing, like, dang, like I never seen so many TikToks of dudes saying, like, bro, we should move in together. Like, even me talking to my homeboys, well, we've been talking about it before AMP though, but before AMP came along or whatever, we was already talking about getting a house or whatever, stuff like that, or apartment together. But even with just that's like a lot of older dudes, like, okay, like Kevin Samuel saying stuff like, why are you living alone? Why are you paying $1,500, $1,800 rent by yourself when you could be staying with your homeboy or somebody and then just grinding, getting your money up, and then you be able to afford those things in the near future instead of trying to have these things now. Even with myself paying $1,200, I know there's one thing about even just paying $1,200 rent. If you only got $1,200, you gonna have to you gotta pay that rent out and then restart back over the next month. Instead of having another guy or two guys, your homeboys or whatever, y'all splitting that rent up, so you either paying now $400 or either $600. But I mean, it do come down to like, okay, if you cool with the homeboys and also if they're responsible and also do they have any vices. But past that, $400, hey, you saving $800 or extra $600 every month. But we won't talk like that when growing up. Even my brother, we wasn't taught like that. We wasn't taught really to save money in those type of ways. But I respect that they came up and became the example to the world that it's possible, especially AMP.
Communism. And I don't want communism to come anywhere. Neither do the Romanians. But Romania is a traditional society, a Christian society. Nuclear family is very, very important to them. Family values are very important to them. How many drug addicts have you seen on the streets?
None.
Zero. Zero. Why? Because if a Romanian becomes a drug addict, his parents, his grandparents, someone will take him in, get him off the drugs. You know, that's the backbone of society. We have zero funding here. That's why I'd never sue this country. Zero for anti-drug programs, mental health programs. How many crazy people are harassing you when you walk around?
None.
There we go.
Hey, if you like this video right here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram at KM.Little with 2 E's. Also, I have a Patreon, and I also have a private community where I talk to y'all 2-3 hours every single day. It's in the link below, also with the Discord. So join the Discord.